Hello, friends, and welcome to Adventures in Pixieland. My name is Amy, and I am an ordained minister. We are in Bible study. We are in the NIV. We are in Exodus, chapter 2 in this video. We will be in the NIV throughout 2025. We're going to verses 1 through verse 25, which is all of chapter 2. Now, for a backstory, in case you didn't join us for the Genesis or the Exodus 1 video, Jacob, renamed Israel, had 12 sons. They sold Joseph, one of those sons, into slavery in Egypt. He became powerful, but he kind of also set up a system where everybody else in Egypt became slaves. And then eventually Joseph dies. People don't know why the Jewish people are even there. They don't know why they're supposed to honor them. They don't care anymore. There are too many of them, and they start doing what they do with people who are foreigners in their land in this time frame. They start suppressing them. So, right now this part, though, is called the birth of Moses. Okay. Now, a man of the house of Levi married a Levite woman. That's important in their culture, see, because for them, who your partner in and what tribe they are, especially for the tribe of Levi, is about the purification of the soul. Because the Levites have a particular spiritual nature to their partnering, like. But I'm from the tribe of Levi, so to me, like you're supposed to do, but for other people, maybe not. And she became pregnant and gave birth to a son. When she saw that he was a fine child, she hid him for 3 months. But when she could hide him no longer, she got a papyrus basket for him and coated it with tar and pitch. Now, tar and pitch were regularly available, and this would have been a known thing required for somebody living at the time to know how to do. She's making a makeshift boat, is what she's doing. This is the way they would have. It's still used in this portion of the world. It's called a kafta, and it's got a particular structure to it, and it's covered in tar and pitch on the bottom to make it waterproof. In this, in Exodus chapter 1, the king of Egypt is having people killing all the boys, the Hebrew boys in Egypt. Then she placed the child in it and put it among the reeds along the bank of the Nile. His sister stood at a distance to see what would happen to him, because the girls were allowed to live. It was only the boys that they were killing. Then Pharaoh's daughter went down to the Nile to bathe, and her attendants were walking along the riverbank. She saw a basket among the reeds, and she sent her slave girl to get it. She opened it and saw the baby. He was crying, and she felt sorry for him. "This is one of the Hebrew babies," she said. Then his sister asked Pharaoh's daughter, "Shall I go and get one of the Hebrew women to nurse the baby for you?" "Yes, go," she said. The girl went and got the baby's mother. Now, that doesn't mean they knew that she got the baby's mother. Pharaoh's daughter said to her, "Take this baby and nurse him for me, and I will pay you." So the woman took the baby and nursed him. When the child grew older, she took him to Pharaoh's daughter, and he became her son. She named him Moses, saying, "I drew him out of the water." Moses sounds like the Hebrew word for draw out. Okay. Moses flees to Midian. Now, that's important. Midian is one of the names listed as one of the nations that are a descendant of Abraham. One day, after Moses had grown up, he went out to where his people were and watched them at their hard labor. So that means they knew, like they raised him knowing that he was a Hebrew and not, calling him an Egyptian. Okay. He saw an Egyptian beating a Hebrew, one of his own people. Glancing this way and that, seeing no one, he killed the Egyptian and hid him in the sand. The next day, he went out and saw two Hebrews fighting. He asked the one in the wrong, "Why are you hitting your fellow Hebrew?" The man said, "Who made you ruler or judge over us? Are you thinking of killing me as you killed the Egyptian?" Then Moses was afraid and thought, what I did must have become known. Like, oh, people know. When Pharaoh heard this, he tried to kill Moses, but Moses fled from Pharaoh and went to live in Midian, where he sat down by a well. Now, priest of Midian had 7 daughters, and they came to draw water and to fill the troughs to water their father's flock. Some shepherds came along and drove them away, but Moses got up and came to their rescue and watered their flock, because they were just trying to be bossy with the water. They're always trying to be bossy with the water. It's the desert. I live in the desert in America, and the tales of the West are littered with arguments over wells. Okay, it's common subject matter in Western movies, if you wanted to take a look and be entertained at the same time. When the girls returned to Reuel, their father, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, Reuel, Reuel, that's how I say that, their father, he asked them, "Why have you returned so early?" They answered, "An Egyptian rescued us from the shepherds. He drew water for us and watered the flock." "And where is he?" He asked his daughters. "Why did you leave him? Invite him to have something to eat." Now, that's important again, because children of Abraham, okay? Children of Abraham sort of have a hospitality is expected way of life. Moses agreed to stay with the man who gave his daughter Zipporah to Moses in marriage. So that was really quick. Zipporah gave birth to a son, and Moses named him Gershom. Gershom sounds like a Hebrew from an alien there, saying, "I have become an alien in a foreign land." Because again, he's away from the people he knows. During that long period, the king of Egypt died. The Israelites groaned in their slavery and cried out, and their cry for help because of their slavery went up to God. God heard their groaning, and he remembered his covenant with Abraham, with Isaac, and with Jacob. So God looked on the Israelites and was concerned about them. So he was like, all right, I did make promises. Let me see if what they're complaining about is valid. Because remember, he did that also in the stories of Genesis. He sent angels to Sodom and Gomorrah. In Revelations, he talks about listening to the opinions of angels about the state of different parts of humanity. So that's important. Because, if your paper's gonna be graded while you're still in a vessel down here, it's best to know who the teachers doing the grading are. Even though Jesus gets ultimate say, best to know the influencers. Best to figure out. Because if they're trying to tell you to knock something off, because they say that also in Revelations. Every church has an angel. Every lampstand has a star. The stars are the angels. Every church has an angel assigned to it. You can find that in all versions of the Bible too. Till next video, friends.